Charlie Rowe, Charlie, Bessie Smith and Marty, every one of them was harmonious. Jim and Tommy Dorsey, Woody, Bud and Basie, there's even a guy named Thelonious. Thelonious! Boogie woogie, I mean woogie woogie, why don't you give it a chance? Grab yourself a partner, music is a smartener, whatever you call it, let's dance. He has jazz, jazz, jazz. He has jazz, jazz, jazz. He has jazz, jazz, jazz. Yes, we have. He has jazz, 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 jazz. He has jazz, 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 jazz. He has jazz, 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 jazz. Yes, we have. Yes, we have jazz. We have jazz. Where's jazz? Jazz, jazz. Where's... Hello, Riff. Hello, Susan. Hey, where did everybody go?
What do you mean, everybody, Riff? You're dancing here all by yourself. At least I think that was dancing.
Yeah, Riff. Those are some pretty interesting moves. Very funny. But seriously, where did everybody go?
What do you mean everybody, Riff? We are the only ones here.
All those cats I was jamming with. Woody, Dizzy, Lewis, Thelonious. Thelonious? Exactly. So where'd they go?
I think you'd better lay off the headphones for a while, Riff. You're starting to imagine things.
Yeah, Thelonious Monk has been dead since 1982. That's like forever ago. And all those others are like ancient history. Besides, jazz is music for old people. Let's go listen to some real music. Forgive them, Thelonious.
Riff really likes jazz.
Like? Like? Like is not a word that should be used in the same sentence as jazz. Like is for Facebook. Like is for Big Macs. Like is for summers at the beach. Like is for the way I feel about Bob. That's right. Like is for the beach. Like is for fast food. Like is for, well, you get the point. Those things I like. Jazz I love. Well, thank you, Charlie Parker.
Did somebody call for Charlie Parker?
Charlie Parker!
Who's Charlie Parker?
Who's Charlie Parker? Who's Charlie Parker? He's only the greatest jazz saxophone player who's ever sucked on a reed.
Oh, that's Charlie Parker.
You can just call me Bird. That's all my friends call me.
Bird?
Never mind. Speaking of friends, here comes the rest of the gang. Hi, everyone. Hey, Saxophone, Dizzy, Doris Brothers, how's everyone?
Just fine, Charlie. And you?
Never been better. I'm really anxious to get this jam session started. Where's Thelonious? Has anyone seen Thelonious?
Thelonious!
Riff really likes, loves Thelonious Monk.
You'll be here later.
What?
Are you really gonna have a jam session like you did in the old days? Sure thing, kid. We do this every Saturday night as long as nobody has another gig they have to make. Oh, Mr. Krupa, you know as well as I do that once you enter the Pearly Gates Jazz Festival, you rarely have any other commitments in life. Excuse me, Riff, but aren't all of these jazz musicians, well, passed on? Oh, honey, jazz musicians never die. They just go to that big old cotton club in the sky. Hey, you're Mom Rainey!
It's a wonderful world, kid. You said it, Louie. Now are we gonna jam or just stand around here talking all night?
Let's jam!
Everybody has jazz inside, so don't you run. And don't you hide, just share that music, make that sound, there's plenty of jazz to go around.
Got the rhythm, you got the style. You got the swing and you got the smile. Now you're ready, it's up to you. There's only one thing left to do. Let's jam! Everybody join the fun. Let's jam! Dance till the day is done. Let's jam! Everybody on the floor, or we will show you the door. Let's jam! Everybody join the band. Let's jam! The best band in the land. Let's jam! Here's where the jam begins. We're jamming as fast as we can. Let's jam! First you snap your fingers, then you stomp your feet. This jamming music just can't be beat. Ba-doop-bow! 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 Ba-doop-bow, 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 ba-doop-bow. Ba-da-doo-da, ba-doop-bow, ba-da-da-doo-da, ba-doop-bow, ba-da-doo-da, ba-doop-bow, 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 ba-doop-bow. Do-do-do-do-do, ba-doop-bow, do-do-do-do-do, ba-doop-bow, do-do-do-do-do, ba-doop-bow, 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 do-do-do-do-do, ba-doop-bow, do-do-do-do-do, ba-doop-bow, do-do-do-do-do, ba-doop-bow, 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 ba-doop-bow. Let's jam! Everybody join the fun. Let's jam! Dance till the day is done. Let's jam! Everybody on the floor, or we will show you the door. Let's jam! Everybody join the band. Let's jam! The best band in the land. Let's jam! Here's where the jam begins. We're jamming as fast as we can. Let's jam! Ba, ba-ba-doo-wah, yeah!
Well, that was pretty cool, I guess.
Pretty cool?
Okay, Miss Holiday, it was really great.
Yeah, and wait to hear that lady sing the blues.
I thought it was great too, but I think it's time to go hear some real modern music. Maybe rap, rock and roll, One Republic, or Michael Jackson.
That's pretty good music, Ellie. I can see why you like it. But you know, all that kind of music has its roots to the music we play, American jazz. Listen to him. He is a count, you know. I heard even Elvis Presley was greatly influenced by American jazz music. Who? Must be some young upstart. Count Dracula. That's Basie, sweetie. Count Basie.
Yeah, whatever. I guess you don't really know what jazz is.
Yeah, that makes two of us. Susan and I certainly don't know why everybody's getting all excited about it.
So Count Lazy, what's jazz?
What's jazz?
You might as well ask what's ragtime.
You might as well ask what's bebop.
You might as well ask what's swing.
Well, kids. Kids, let me tell you something that you'll never forget. Jazz is the only kind of music born in America, destined to be experienced throughout the world.
Really?
Jazz is one of America's greatest treasures.
Wow.
It all began way back in the days of slavery, where the rhythmic music of West Africa mixed with the songs of the New World to make a whole new sound.
Well, kids, that's where jazz began, but it sure didn't stop there.
Wait, so you mean there's more?
A lot more. Slavery back in the day wasn't always an easy life. It was lonely, frightening, exhausting, and well, blue. Well, Sally, my truck broke down, I lost my woman, and my dog ran away.
Oh, that's bad.
And that was just this morning.
You sure you're not a country western singer, Bob?
No, I'm feeling poorly.
Me too. My life is about as miserable as wearing tights in July. That's bad.
Well, kids, when I'm feeling this bad, there's only one thing I know to do.
Wallow in it? Why don't you tantrums till you get your way, Miss Billy?
That's
what we do.
No, when I'm feeling this poorly, I sing. I sing the blues.
That sounds like a pretty good idea, even though I find throwing tantrums work pretty well.
Will you teach us to sing the blues, Miss Billy? Yeah, Miss Holiday, teach us to sing the blues.
Oh no, kids. You're all way too young to sing the blues.
Too young?
That's right. In order to sing the true blues, a person has to have felt pain in their lives. To sing the blues, a person has to have suffered.
Oh, I've suffered, Miss Billy. I've suffered real bad.
Yeah, Miss Billy, nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Yeah, you won't believe the trouble I get myself into, Miss Billy. I have problems. I have big problems.
Tell me about it, kid.
Only 2 days off and 5 days of school. Lots of chores and homework and cafeteria food. Life can be hard and I'm paying my dues. And now I know I'm old enough to sing the blues. He's got the blues. He's got the blues. He's got the blues. He's got the blues. His name is Louie. He's old enough to sing the blues. You think that's bad? Listen to this. I was babysitting my little sister Bess, but I got careless and she made a mess. My father says I'm grounded till 2022, and now I spend my time crying boo-hoo. He's got the blues. He's got the blues. He's got the blues. She's paid her dues. She's old enough to sing the blues. Tell it like a T.I. is, sister. I tried to train my bulldog, but he doesn't have a clue. It wastes my time and annoys him too. Today for lunch he chewed up my brand new pair of shoes. I guess it proves I'm old enough to sing the blues. She's got the blues. She's got the blues. He's got the blues. She's paid her dues. She's old enough to sing the blues. She's paid her dues. She's old enough to sing the blues. Oh yeah!
Well, that was the saddest song I've ever heard in my whole life.
Wow, what a string of bad luck those folks have had.
I want the loneliest. I'm not sure how much of this jazz stuff I can take.
sad. Tell them about it, Mr. Joplin.
You see, kiddos, the blues were around before anybody ever thought of the word jazz. In fact, that word wasn't even coined until the famous author F. Scott Fitzgerald used it to describe the 1920s. Now, who was it? F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Wow, he sounds very enthusiastic. That's why we call him the entertainer.
And little lady, it wasn't just the blues they were singing. No, sir. When they said jazz, they were talking about soul. When they said jazz, they were talking about Dixieland. And when they said jazz, they were talking about ragtime.
Tell me, Mr. Joplin, blues, soul, ragtime, Dixieland, that's all jazz?
That's right. That's right, Daddy-O, because jazz started way down yonder in beautiful New Orleans.
Oh, and who are you?
Ferdinand Morton, but you can call me Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll?
Never mind. Anyway, a lot of people, including myself, claim that I invented jazz in New Orleans, the jazziest town on earth.
But it wasn't long before jazz floated right up the Mississippi River into the cold and grime of Chi-Town.
Chi-town?
Chicago, baby. Chicago, Illinois. Louis Armstrong, but you can call me Satchmo. Never mind. You see, Chicago held a promise for new Southerners like Joe King Oliver, me and the original Dixieland Jazz Band.
Joe King Oliver?
Somebody call for me?
What's the King stand for? King of what?
Never mind. King of Jazz! King of Chicago! Here we go. King of Creole!
King of hot air.
Hop on that boat, kids. We'll ride that river up to a brand new life.
What river?
What river? What river? The river! The big mighty river. Now give me an M.
M!
Give me an I.
I!
Give me an S.
S!
Now give me a lot of I's and S's and P's and stuff. Let's go!
in the 1920s and 30s. We just finished the war in Europe.
There was a depression.
1 out of every 4 American men was out of work.
Not even a king had much extra money for entertainment. But that didn't stop the real swingers, presenting Lester Young, Cab Calloway, Fats Waller, and Benny Goodman.
Never mind, kids. Don't whine and don't holler. We got the tunes that don't cost you $1. When it comes to piano, I'm a bit of a scholar. I'm big on stride, that's why I'm Fats Waller.
Lady be good or lady be bad. Don't be so blue and don't be so sad. Lester is here with his trusted sax. Swing is the thing and them is the facts.
Howdy ho. Cab Calloway here and I don't know. Chicago's swell, but New York's way to go. The Cox Club is ready for a real hot show. Here I am, fellas, the new king of swing. With my clarinet in hand, I can make this town sing. Benny Goodman's the name, it's got a mighty fine ring, but it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing.
You know I like all this talk about jazz.
Yes, but other than Bessie Smith and Billie Holiday, it seems like all the other great jazz musicians are men. Yeah, aren't there any women who has jazz?
A tisket, a tasket, a pink and yellow basket.
It's Ella Fitzgerald.
Hi, girlies, that's right. I'm Ella Fitzgerald. You already know Bessie Smith, Billie Holiday, and Ma Rainey. This is our good old friend, Mary Lou Williams. She is one of the greatest jazz composers and pianists of the entire jazz era, and she practically made Dizzy Gillespie famous with the chart she wrote for him.
That's right, ladies. That man was nothing but puffed up looks before I got a hold of him.
Mary Lou, is she being mean to you again? Everyone is always so mean to me, but I'll get by. But still, I just can't help loving that man of mine.
I did make his career, you know. How could anyone get so famous with something like that? And ridiculous trumpets sticking up in the air. It's just ridiculous.
Ladies, please. We have got to remain dignified. Of course the women played a very important role in the development of jazz, and of course the men will always take all the credit, but we know the truth, and therefore we must always remain sophisticated ladies.
Calm down, Ref. Take it easy. But is he here yet?
Who, Rip, is who here?
Mr. Monk. I heard he was on his way here.
Mr. Monk, as in Thelonious?
Yes. Who is this Thelonious character anyway? And what were his parents thinking naming him that? Who was he? Who was he? Only the most innovative jazz pianist of his century. Only the hero of the All right. All I say is that I think he should have a good sense of humor with a name like Thelonious. So I hear that Thelonious is going to make a big appearance tonight and talk about the future of jazz as we know it.
Is this what this is all about? Where else do you think jazz ought to go?
We've been in a cotton fields and a cotton clubs. What could possibly be left?
Get ready, everybody, because here he comes.
Might as well hear what he's got to say.
Wow!
To bop or not to bebop, there is no question. You see, ladies and gentlemen, jazz is our music, the music of America. From the moonlit streets of New Orleans to up the river of St. Louis, from the gangster club of Chicago to the bright lights of Harlem, we made it and it made us. But we didn't always have our freedom, but jazz is our freedom. We didn't always have our peace, shelter, money, or even food to eat. When the first tower worker struck up a song by only using his pitchfork and the beat of his heart, we has it. We has it, folks. We has jazz.
Jazz, I mean jazz, whatever you call it.
You did it. Yay. Take one more